There is a version of credit card advice that has been passed around for long enough that it now sounds like wisdom. Use credit cards for everything. Earn the points, pay the balance in full every month. Build the credit score, repeat. And the people who give this advice are not wrong exactly, but they are describing a tool being used by someone who does not actually need it, in a way that does not actually explain why wealthy people use it. Because the honest version of this story is stranger and more uncomfortable than the points conversation ever gets. And it starts with a number almost nobody in the rewards conversation ever mentions.
The average credit card interest rate, as I record this, sits above 21%. That number is not the rate wealthy people pay. It is the rate the average American pays. And the gap between those two groups, between the people for whom credit cards are a genuine optimization tool and the people for whom they are an expensive trap, has almost nothing to do with discipline, self-control, or financial sophistication. It has to do with one structural fact about how credit card economics actually work. Let me earn that.
Credit card companies make money two ways. The first is interchange, the fee a merchant pays every time a card is swiped, typically between 1.5% and 3% of the transaction. The second is interest, charged to any cardholder who carries a balance past the due date at a rate that currently averages above 21%. Here is the part the rewards conversation always skips. Those two revenue streams do not come from the same people. The interchange revenue, the money that funds the cashback, the points, the miles, the airport lounges, the travel credits, comes overwhelmingly from merchants. The interest revenue comes overwhelmingly from the roughly 45% of American cardholders who carry a balance month to month.
This means the rewards program is not a gift from the bank. It is a transfer. The cardholders who carry a balance are subsidizing the rewards collected by the cardholders who do not. The person paying 21% interest on a $5,000 balance is, in a very direct sense, funding the first-class lounge access of the person who pays in full every month. Wealthy people do not use credit cards strategically because they are financially sophisticated. They use them as a pure optimization layer on top of spending behavior that was never going to change regardless. They were always going to pay in full. The card is collecting a small rebate on transactions that were happening anyway. That is the entire structure, and it only works because someone else is paying for it.
Now, meet Daniel and Claire. I have given them identical incomes and identical spending patterns. Each spends $3,000 a month on ordinary expenses. Each carries a credit card that offers 2% cash back on everything. The difference is one behavior. Daniel pays his balance in full every month. Claire carries an average balance of $4,000 at the current average rate of 21.47%. Daniel's annual cashback, $720. His annual interest cost, $0. Net benefit of his credit card, $720 a year. Claire's annual cashback, also $720. Her annual interest cost on a $4,000 balance at 21.47%, approximately $859. Net benefit of Claire's credit card, negative $139 a year.
Same card, same spending, same rewards rate. Claire is paying $139 a year for the privilege of earning $720 in rewards that cost her $859 to collect. The card that is a $720 annual benefit for Daniel is a $139 annual penalty for Claire. And that is the conservative version. It assumes Claire's balance stays flat. If that balance is growing, which for the average household carrying credit card debt it is, the interest compounds and the gap widens every month.
Here's what this means structurally. The credit card rewards conversation is only the correct conversation for the roughly 55% of cardholders who pay in full every month. For the 45% who carry a balance, the entire rewards framework is running in reverse. The question is not which card has the best points multiplier. The question is how quickly you can stop subsidizing someone else's airport lounge. But there is a second, quieter way wealthy people use credit cards differently, and it has nothing to do with rewards at all. It is about what credit cards reveal. Every transaction on a credit card statement is a data point. Wealthy people, or more precisely, people who built wealth rather than inherited it, tend to treat that statement as a diagnostic tool rather than a record of the past. They are not reviewing it to feel good about what they spent. They are reviewing it to find the subscriptions they forgot, the categories that drifted, the automatic charges that no longer match anything they value. The statement is a monthly audit.
For the average cardholder, the statement arrives and is paid or not paid and put away. The data in it is never used. And this is the behavioral gap that compounds quietly over years. Not the rewards rate, not the sign-up bonus. The habit of treating your own spending as information rather than as weather. There is a refinement here worth being precise about. This diagnostic habit is not exclusive to credit cards. A debit card generates the same statement. A cash envelope system generates the same categories. The credit card is not the source of the discipline. The discipline is the source of the credit card's usefulness. Which is why handing someone a rewards credit card and telling them to use it for everything is occasionally the exact wrong advice, because it optimizes the instrument while ignoring whether the underlying behavior supports that instrument at all.
Now, let me be precise about what this does and does not say, because the honest version is more useful than the convenient one. It does not say credit cards are bad. For the 55% who pay in full, they are a genuine, if modest, optimization. It does not say the rewards are meaningless. $720 a year is real money, and over a decade at a modest market return, it becomes something worth having. What it says is narrow. The rewards conversation is the right conversation only after a prior question has been answered honestly. Is your balance zero every month? If yes, proceed to the points discussion. If no, the points discussion is a distraction from a math problem that costs you more than the points will ever return. And there is a third behavior, the one that most separates how wealthy people actually use credit cards from how the advice column says to use them. They are largely indifferent to the specific card. The sign-up bonus, the rotating categories, the annual fee calculation, the transfer partners, the upgrade paths. This is the language of the credit card optimization community, and it is a community that spends a meaningful amount of cognitive energy managing an instrument that generates, at its very best, a few percentage points of return on spending that was going to happen anyway. Wealthy people tend to pick one card, or two, and leave it alone, because the optimization ceiling on credit card rewards is low. A person spending $5,000 a month, paying in full with an excellent rewards card, is collecting perhaps $1,200 to $1,500 a year. That is the ceiling. It does not scale. Their attention goes elsewhere, to the decisions where the math is not capped at 2%.
So the actual structure, pulled out plainly, is this. Credit cards are a thin optimization layer that works cleanly only for people whose underlying financial behavior would function equally well without them. For everyone else, they are a distribution mechanism, moving money from people carrying balances to people who are not. Understanding which side of that transfer you are on is the only credit card question that actually matters. Everything else is details. If this helped, hit the subscribe button. And I want to know which way you use your credit card. Drop it in the comments.